Jolan, true Centurions, and welcome back to another episode of Starfleet Command, Orion Pirates plus mod. I am Fleet Admiral Tirak of the Dreadnought RS Morte as we continue our campaign against the Sol system. Really, that's the main focus at this point. It's not the rest of the Federation. Who cares about all this blue? It's Sol. Right here, sitting at an Empire defense of 35, we've knocked it down quite heavily. So with a quick check through the supply yard to make sure that we are in good shape, and another quick check to quickly go through to make sure there are no King Condors laying around, we will set out to kick some butt, take some names, and hopefully not waste any time. Luckily, we were able to make it to the mission area without getting attacked, and we'll go on an asteroid base assault. We are still about 7 missions away from being able to successfully flip the tiles, so I don't have any problems taking a random asteroid base assault. Hit the red alert. We are escorted by nobody. Of course, we're going to set our plasma torpedoes to enveloping just in case. The ECM systems 2, 4, and 2. Forward shields. Get those to maximum reinforcement. And that's us and good. Check the power screen so we know how much energy we're wasting on other things that we do not need. And we'll increase the speed of time. I want to take this planet. We've been fighting over this planet for a long time. The Sol system has proven to be a difficult thing to capture. Unfortunately, it looks like we were ordered to go after a random mining base in the middle of the asteroid belt. Because all I'm seeing is a single freighter. Not only all I'm seeing a single freighter, it looks like a hydrogen freighter. So yeah, looks like the Federation economy is now currently under primary assault by us. And is failing to survive, if I have anything to say about this. So we will launch all of our pseudo torpedoes, slow down the speed of time, just to double check and make sure. Yep, he stopped on a dime. It's pretty impressive, actually. Hi, phasers. Haha, we got it. Okay, prepare plasma torpedoes. I think the plasma can do it all on its own. Could be wrong, don't think that I am. Wait for the attack shift to go away, and hi. Let's see if he survives. Nope. Didn't stand a chance. We will continue along our way, increase the speed of time to the maximum, of course, and we'll also start to increase the speed of the ship because at some point we do need to find a random asteroid base. After all, this is why we're here. Still not seeing it though. Oh, there it is. Popped up on the side of the view screen. Slow down just a little bit, make sure we get a little bit of defensive firepower. Plasma torpedoes are half recharged. Don't have any pseudos right now, so we are going to have to waste a little bit of our firepower against his defensive 4 phaser 3s. Not that it's too much damage that it takes away from our phasers. I mean, we are alphaing something like 250 damage, so I'm really not all that concerned. Also, he has no defenses of any kind that are worth anything, so we should be able to wipe him out pretty darn easily and pretty darn efficiently. With any luck, this will be a 2 pass? Yeah, this should take about 2 launches, I think. Start to slow down. All heavy plasma torpedoes selected. Yeah, heavies only. Fire. Light plasma torpedoes. We'll wait till we get a little bit closer. Didn't hit the thing that we wanted to hit, but I suppose that's the nature of the beast. Light plasma torpedoes all stop. Maximum forward shield is holding. Just barely. Barely holding. So we're just going to sit here on plasma torpedoes because 36.5 points of energy is enough to protect us. Do you have any ECC? No, you don't have any ECM. I'm going to put more power to the forward shields. All plasma torpedoes selected and engage. Keep blasting away. The shields are just barely there. It's actually kind of impressive. Wait for the follow-up with the smaller plasma torpedoes. Just add insult to injury. You still have a big gun. I would like you to no longer have that. Oh, he's got an attack shift now. We need to actively go against it. Up, and it goes away. He doesn't quite have enough energy to power that, it would seem. He also is out of phaser 3s. So there is that much that we're managing to deal to him. So heavy plasma torpedoes once again. Put them out in a nice big blast. And there he goes. As always, asteroids are a little bit difficult to judge what health they're actually at when you're shooting at them with plasma torpedoes. Because he lost all of his armor and most of his systems, but because he still had the phaser 4, which makes up the majority of a BPV, we see him as being at almost full health. Something which was clearly not the case. So 86 prestige for that, but what was more important was the 5 points of Empire defense that we took away from doing that, and another homeworld assault. These are the kinds of missions that we hunt for. These are the kinds of missions that we're interested in. So let's see what's going on here. Hit that red alert, start to increase speed, make sure we get plasma torpedoes to enveloping, ECM, ECCM. I keep saying that backwards, because I say ECM as I click on the ECCM panel, and vice versa. Currently squaring off against a single dreadnought. I'm gonna guess you're a guided? Nope, you're a heavy dreadnought. And we are escorted, of course, today by IKV Atrocity. Now, has there ever been a better Klingon name than that? And the C9 dreadnought IKV Jinx Slayer, with 2 X's. I'm assuming that's named after someone. And it is a PLPH in the background. Once again, that kind of looks like Venus, but I'm not quite sure. It's certainly not Pluto. Pluto would be much smaller and more irregular. It's not Neptune or Uranus. We've not Saturn, not Jupiter. It's got to be one of the moons of Jupiter. Yeah, we're going to call it Titan and just pretend that Jupiter is somewhere over here. Another dreadnought has shown up. It is a DNF, so a plasma-armed dreadnought, something that we should keep in mind and be wary of. We will begin a wild weasel, not that I anticipate us using it, but hey, just in case, it's always nice to have. What kind of shields are we currently at? So let's pour some energy into speed so we can get towards our target sooner. We, quite frankly, outnumber and outgun him pretty severely. I am going to try to not risk my pseudo-frigates because they're expensive to replace and we don't like doing it. Replacing pseudo-frigates is an admission of a mistake and guilt because ideally you should only fire your pseudo-frigates in situations where they won't die. That's a personal belief because I don't like to see my little pseudo-frigates die, mainly because they cost 238 prestige apiece, which is more than some frigates in this game. So plasma torpedoes are ready. We're only going to need 2 of them though, of course, to do our little special attack maneuver thing, which immediately causes them to freak out and then die. Very effective tactic. We haven't yet come up with a name with it. Maybe someone else can. So we are at range. Fire the super torpedoes for the bait and begin to turn away. And obviously at this point any multiplayer captain would immediately realize there's no way he's actually launched those torpedoes and would just tank it. Or if he were a somewhat nervous captain, he would immediately launch a probe. The problem with doing that so early is that you then got another turn where you're just charging the probe, which, as you might imagine, is not great if you're trying to get good accuracy. Oh, that was pretty good accuracy, actually. The heavy dreadnought coming in managed to get quite a few hits on us with his proximity plasma photon torpedoes, not plasma torpedoes. Wait till we get a little bit closer, a little bit closer, a little bit closer. Now, all cloaking devices active. By all, I mean the one that we have. We'll begin to turn away. Good hits all around. Managed to knock out most of his shielding. All except his forward shielding now at this point, thanks to the Jinx Slayer wiping out most of what he's got. Incoming plasma torpedoes, that can't be against us, and it's not. The Jinx Slayer just got mauled by the Fokker. Ah, yes. It's the return of the Fokker. The Fokker having, of course, mauled the Jinx Slayer as the Jinx Slayer dropped his shield in order to try and bomb the green. A mistake on his part. I don't want to come out of cloak, not this close to a plasma dreadnought. They're not particularly dangerous to us over, you know, a heavy dreadnought, but it's the principle of the thing. Also, he is putting out an absolute metric ton of firepower. Look at all the fighters he killed. Coming off cloak, prepared to fire. Slow down just a little bit. And good positioning, fire all the heavy phasers, and recloak. And that is how we win this battle. Hopefully the cloak will be at full power by the time we hit a range of 3, otherwise things are gonna suck. And we also turn away from him in time to make sure that we don't get hit by the mines. That's very important. If you get hit by mines in cloak, you decloak. It's not fun. You don't completely decloak, you just sort of flash back into existence for a short period of time. However, during that period of time, you can be tractor beamed, which, at a range of 3, yeah, we could have been tractor beamed. Now if you were there he goes! They've taken out the green, it's just the Fokker left. So we're gonna gently come around, let him get in front of us. Nope, he's gonna turn back towards us. So we're going to pass right through him. He can't hurt us. Well, he can. But under cloak, it's much more difficult for him to try and hurt us. You know, I do want to come out of cloak shortly. I just don't have a really good weapon solution to do it with yet. We've got 3 plasma torpedoes that are almost ready, but they're still about a turn out from being useful. And we don't want to decloak in front of him as long as he's got plasma torpedoes, because we'll get shot at by them, and it will hurt. And we don't like doing that. So we're going to go around another pass with him. Wait for our weapons. Ooh, no, bad. Very bad. We are exposed. Who fired plasma? It wasn't me. All plasma torpedoes. Oh, no, we can't. Just gotta reveal us again. Let's come to cloak. We're in a good position to do it. The planet is now, of course, blinking away at us. All pseudo-torpedoes engage. That was only one pseudo-torpedo. You got another one? I guess not. S-type plasma torpedo, send it his way. And that's a crash stop if I ever saw one, and didn't quite make it in time. So slow down, slow down, slow... Ooh, crap, we really don't want to be here. Too close for plasma. Fire phasers and get out of here. So turn, turn, turn. Let's get out of here. Are you holding on? You're holding on to us. We're not cloaked if you're holding on to us. That's very bad. And we're being exposed by the mines that are being dropped on top of us. Are you a scatter pack? No, you're the remains of his... Let go! Seriously! He's facing us. This is no bueno. Fine, if you want to do this, we'll do this. You've got basically nothing left. Of course he lets us go right then. Firing our stern phasers, doing lots of damage. I don't think he's going to survive this barrage. He does have decent shields still. But that's a pretty significant barrage in there. There he goes, shattered. Alright, onto the planet. Plasma torpedoes set to enveloping. That's where all our power was going. I was wondering why we seemed to be kind of floundering in that fight. Turns out, we had forgotten to turn off our enveloping plasma torpedoes. Granted, it's powerful to have enveloping plasma torpedoes, but still, it didn't help. Increase the speed to maximum. We do, of course, need to get in range of this planet. It will have 8 phaser 4s, 8 photon torpedoes, and 16 phaser 3s. That, of course, being the standard armament of the heavily defended planets. Although, rumor does tell of a planet with 56 phaser 4s. And I kind of want to see it, just to, you know, witness it. I mean, how much of this screen would be taken up by that? If you think about it, that's 14 tiles? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, you can fit that. Yeah, you can fit that without too much trouble. So we're just going to generally sort of drift on in, let them do the hard work for us. No reason to get in any kind of trouble on our own. Well, really accurate photon torpedo fire. That proximity mode is just incredible. It's just so incredibly flexible and useful, and it's 4 damage, which is close-range disruptor fire levels of damage. I mean, yeah, we're launching around plasma torpedoes where the weakest one does 20 damage, but that 20 damage is only dealt at a range of 4, or 5 to 10. Whereas his plasma... I keep saying plasma torpedoes, I mean his photon torpedoes, they will deal that 4 damage out to a range of 50-something. So incredibly flexible and useful pieces of equipment. We do have Marines this time, right? Yes, we do. Okay, good. Because that would be even more embarrassing after last time. The last planet, unfortunately, we showed up, had no Marines in the hold. At that point, it was like, send in the engineers. Just go. There's nobody left on the planet to actually resist. Unfortunately, the game doesn't let you do that, and the AI isn't capable of actually capturing planets and the like. I think we've taken out something important with that one. Unfortunately, he's still getting accurate photon torpedo fire on us, which is not, of course, cool, and he still has phaser 4s available, as you can see, as he blasts into those fighters. Another heavy barrage, though, ought to take out most of what he's got. I don't think he'll have much more after that. Unfortunately, it's 3 turns, and even at maximum speed, 3 turns takes a little while. Heavy plasma torpedoes, fire once again, and we took another hit from a proximity torpedo. There we go, that was important. We hit whatever was important needed to be hit. He's down to 2 people left. His BPV is showing this value, so I'm pretty positive he's got nothing. But just to be sure, we will of course continue the bombardment. Because how can you not? All weapons and plasma torpedoes. And prepare to send the Marines. Go Marines, and stop the ship, don't hit the planet. Here we go. So, sitting here, waiting for the Marines to do their thing. There's nobody left actually defending the planet, so now we're just waiting for them to secure the planet. And there we go. Planet secured by the glorious forces of the Romulan Star Empire. And I suppose the Klingons helped a little bit. We'll give them some credit in the more internationalized press, that way they don't feel too gypped by the fact that we're using them to do most of our heavy lifting. 670 prestige. The tile is down to 25 Empire defense. We are slowly breaking them. We will break and destroy them. And another homeworld assault. These come up all the time. And we are ready for them. Hit that red alert. It's a battleship. It's a battleship. And it is a BBX, a full power battleship. Unfortunately for that battleship, after we set our plasma torpedoes to enveloping, we are escorted by IKV Inviolable, which is actually kind of a pathetic name for a B-11 battleship, but it's a B-11 battleship, so it don't care about the fact that we think it's a stupid name, as well as the C-10 battleship, the Dragon Slayer. You two need to switch names. Just go over there, exchange name tags, because that's a way cooler name. Swearing off against a BBX, and was that a planet with a phaser? It is PLPH-13. We're running out of planets that I know of in the Sol system that look like colors that are in this game. That's a problem. So at this point, we are apparently bombing Venus again. See, the last time we came in to bomb Venus, we set fire to the clouds. Obviously, I don't even know if Venus's clouds are flammable, but we set fire to the clouds and burned some of them off. That's why you see the green on the ground. So let's set our ECM, ECCM systems online. By the way, there's a light dreadnought over here. Oh, no, it's not. It is a SCS. Ooh, that's actually pretty dangerous to us. That's a Federation carrier. The biggest, nastiest Federation carrier that the Federation can get, barring the BBV, which we've run into a bunch of those. So right now they've got one of their best carriers and their most powerful frontline combat ship, and a planet that has 8 phaser 4s and 8 photon torpedoes. Luckily, we won't have to kill them all. Although those fighters are going to make my life a lot more difficult. It means that we really can't afford to deploy our pseudo-frigates. Doing so will get our pseudo-frigates killed. Unless, you know, that C-10 can basically wipe him out in one shot, and I don't think it can. So instead, we're going to have to basically do what we did last time. And last time, we really could have afforded to launch our pseudo-frigates. It would have helped out a lot. But I don't want to have to go home, so I don't want to risk them so early on in the journey. After all, the last time we did it, the Hong Kong blew up one with mines. It was a very gruesome way to destroy a pseudo-frigate, because one after another. It's the thing I hate about mines is the inevitability. Because they beam onto you, they activate, and then they wait. Just one cycle. And it's like, I can't stop this. No matter what I do, there will be no way to prevent what is about to happen. And that is why I hate mines. Let's prepare our little bait and switch here. Getting hit by more photon torpedo fire. And there's the range. So we're going to fire it now, and we're going to start our turn. We also need to pick up some speed, because while having 32 points of energy in the forward tank is nice, it's not really required. So that hopefully will cause you to freak out and want to avoid a crash stop. There it is. He's going for a crash stop. So we will be able to come around and cause lots of damage. Looks like the Dragon Slayer is just laying into those fighters. Although, as you can see, the Dragon Slayer has taken quite a nasty hit from those fighters. Speaking of, hi, fighters. I've come here with lots of phasers, and we're going to kill you. Wait for a little bit closer. There we go. Down to one. And phaser 3s, if you don't mind. There we go. Oh, by the way, that carrier's about to drop on top of us. All plasma. Cloak. We're gone. It'd be nice if we could have killed him in its entirety, but I'm not going to risk it. Although you should only... Yeah, you only have 4 photon torpedoes, so you're not all that dangerous. So we took out his stern shields, which, don't get me wrong, is a great achievement, but I was hoping for a little bit more, and I guess we just didn't have the firepower to do it. Mine here. Yeah, I know. The Inviolable is going to have to actually pass through that mine, but it's also going to force that SCS to break off, which is, in my opinion, a very good thing, so that we can decloak and continue the attack. Continue engagement with phasers, because I don't think those fighters are any danger to me right now. I think we plow through this mine. I think... Can we get 10 points of energy into it? No. Well, maybe. Come on, bounce the mine already. Hit the mine! Double mine behind us. There we go. Okay, now I can put energy back into speed. And there he goes, breaking off hard. He doesn't want to get too close to our mine. It could be a nuclear space mine. So, lots of missiles incoming, and wow, I forgot Federation carriers come equipped with one of the nastiest weapons ever devised. It's called the Phaser Gatling, and it's nasty as all hell. We're going to cloak, and we're going to break off. We've got incoming missile fire. I think it's coming for us. I assume it's coming for us. Pick up the speed. Come on. Pick up the pace. Let's get out of here. Let's not get blasted here. We will, of course, repair our warp engine so we have all the power we need. It is the USS Stevens, was apparently our battleship for the day, and he did not last. The USS Hope is the carrier, and such a Federation name, especially defending the Sol system, the Hope. Sadly, the Hope is going to get annihilated. It is, after all, only an SCS. Don't get me wrong, Federation SCSs, very dangerous ships. In this case, Federation SCSs, targets, going to die. Also, he is crash stopped, used a wild weasel. We're going to decloak very briefly. Use this to come in with a phaser pass and break off. Come on. Fire, fire, fire. And oh crap, I forgot. You have Gatling phasers. You have Gatling phasers. Be undercloaked now, please. No, we're not. In fact, we lost a shield. I forgot how long it takes to decloak, because I do it all the time and can forget these things. So we're breaking off now. Looks like the Dragon Slayer has been absolutely mauled. Again, the weak Klingon warp coils are showing through, because even though he's taken damage, he's still showing quite a bit high level on his BPV, but that reactor is just completely messed up. Should I come around and kill these fighters? I don't know. Could be a useful spending of my time, although I'm just a little bit wary about doing so. Our plasma torpedoes haven't charged because we haven't put a whole lot of effort into charging them. You still have Gatling phasers. I don't want to get anywhere near you, although I would like to deploy my pseudo-frigates now that there are no fighters as far as I can see. Just have to wait until he's in a position where he ain't facing me anymore. So he's lost pretty much all his shields at this point. He's taken a couple of pot shots at the cloaked vessel. Probably a mistake, quite frankly, because he's never going to get through. I'm going to break off in this direction, increase our speed very slightly. And he did waste some of his firepower into us. Not one of the Gatling phasers managed to hit. And if he continues in that direction, we will be able to turn onto his tail. And I think I'm going to decloak shortly. Decloaking now. Incoming missiles. And we'll go harass, 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 harass. Directed defense engaged. That's a lot more missiles than I thought. Point defense systems engaged. Yeah, I'll hold on to that. Plasma torpedoes, fire all the pseudos. See if we can't bait him into a crash stop. If he can still crash stop. He still has a shuttle bay. Yeah, that he didn't crash stop. So eat that. Hopefully he doesn't crash stop now, because that's a decent amount of plasma firepower. Oh no. No, he's dead now. Come on, fire that port side. There we go. Don't get too close. All phasers engage. There we go. He's been taken out. Good work, everybody. We managed to destroy the defenders. Return to me right now. That way you don't get in range of that planet and die. Because I would like to keep you alive. How y'all doing? Returning to me? Like I've ordered you to? Because that's important. Because otherwise you actually will die. Your shield's not nearly strong enough to take on a planet. Trust me, I know. I've fought planets before in ships that were not up to the task. Although, when you play as Romulans, almost any ship can be almost up to the task. First of all, you've got plasma torpedoes. Generally, you'll have at least 2. So that's 40 damage a pop. That is enough to break through the shield reinforcement. And you can cloak, which is enough to get past, well, all the phaser 4s. So yeah, I think you could probably do a successful siege with a destroyer. Maybe a light cruiser, but maybe a destroyer. Probably not a frigate, and the only reason I say probably not a frigate is you'll probably have trouble on transporters. Other than that, should be golden. I mean, we were running successful missions against planets, like fully armed planets, the 8 phaser 4s, 16 phaser 3s, and 4 photon torpedoes. We were running operations against them back when we got our early heavy cruiser. So yeah, it's a pretty effective ship. Pretty effective race thanks to the cloaking device. So we're going to drift on in here, wait for the long time that it takes to get into range, because that is the one downside to the planetary assault mission. It takes forever to get anywhere. And slowly start park. Yeah, we need energy in that forward shield, otherwise we will get annihilated. Select the heavy plasma torpedoes. Fire the pseudos. All stop. Fire the heavies. And the only reason we fired the pseudos was to avoid some of his phaser 3 firepower. We take out all except for those one shield that he didn't reinforce him. So yeah, we're just going to sit here and bombard as we do. It's safe back here. We've got 33.8 points of energy into the forward shield. We're currently not sitting in the attack or defense shift. Did we set this up? Yeah, we did. So he's just matching us. And wait for the plasma torpedoes to get ready. So yeah, sitting here under the current ECM environment, as well as 33.8 points of energy into the forward shield at a distance of 13.72. Yeah, we're safe. If he concentrated all of his firepower into us, he might be able to get something done, but he's not. And it looks like all the shields have finally gone up. Oh, nope, this one is still active. You can just barely see it peeking out over the front. It's still active because it's the one he's reinforcing, so the amount of energy we're pumping into it is not quite enough to overcome that reinforcement. Although, as you can see, we're shocking down all of his other shields. I'm not quite willing to push forward yet. Not until we start seeing more of his systems start going down. A nice big chunking blast. Again, not quite knocking down that forward shield. But what we are doing is we're leaving him open and exposed for the B-11s to start doing damage. He is now down to whatever level this would be. It's about a quarter. So I'm going to pull in a little bit closer, see if we can't get the rest of the plasma torpedoes on target. We're going to wait for all of them to be ready. That way we're sure to knock out his forward shield. Although it looks like his forward shield just went down. So all heavy plasma torpedoes, and the light ones too. There we go, that's what we wanted to do. Check out the Marines. Yep, 2 left, so we just a matter of getting in range, beaming people over, and stealing a planet. So 8, 7, 6, and there we are. Send in the Marines. Another successful capture attempt. And by attempt, I mean success. Just of course have to wait for them to plant the flag, and the flag is planted. So we have once again captured another homeworld. Capture, of course, in air quotes, because he's down to, I think, 30. An Empire defensive around 30, it should be. And, of course, the 670 prestige, which is always nice, because this is how you make cash. Ooh, it went neutral. The Sol system has gone neutral. So you know what that means. Unfortunately, that will have to wait until the next episode. I've been Tirak. If you like what you've been seeing, hit that like button and subscribe. If you want to receive a notification every time I upload these videos, press that little bell icon, leave a comment. What is the one... No, I shouldn't ask that, because that would be mean. I was going to ask what is the one city you'd like to see plasmid from orbit, but no. What is the one place that we should make our new capital once we capture Earth? I mean, of course there's the obvious Rome, but where do you think would make a good Romulan capital? And I will see you all in the next episode.